Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. Thanks for tuning back in. I appreciate each and every one of you guys that are watching on a regular basis. It means a lot to me to have your support, and it's that support that has me doing these videos on a regular basis. If I wasn't getting positive feedback from you guys and lots of positive comments, I would not continue to be doing these videos because I wouldn't really be sure if it was worth the time and the effort that I was putting in. But when I get comments and people reaching out to me through emails, letting me know that the information I'm providing has helped them catch more fish or catch a personal best, that means a lot to me, guys. Like, that's really why I'm doing this. I just want to help each and every one of you guys catch a few more fish or learn from my experience. And if it helps you catch more fish, that's what this is all about. So today I've got a little tip for you. It really is about fishing warm summer months, and one of my absolute favorite baits or styles of bait is a creature bait. You know, like this Hawg is one of my absolute favorites by Berkley. You know, it's Zoom makes the brush hog. That's a really good one. Most companies make some sort of creature bait, you know, like that. It's a bigger plastic bait with big tentacles, big tails, a lot of appendages, and it's a really, really good bait to use in summer months. I get a lot of questions from people asking, you know, when do I throw a flipping bait, or, you know, like say a Texas rig bait? When do I use a craw, like a beaver style bait or a creature style bait? And for me, the creature bait really shines in the summer months. It's a bait that does a great job mimicking bluegill. It's a great job or a great bait that mimics larger bait fish. And really in the summer months, you know, you've got fish living in warm water. They're cold-blooded creatures. So the warmer the water, the more those fish are going to be active, the more they're going to need to feed in order to, you know, continue to grow. They need to feed more in the summer months. So that's when they start looking for easier meals, but they also don't necessarily want to expel as much energy to get those meals. And that's where a big creature bait, in my opinion, comes into play. What I mean by that is, you know, you've got a big plastic bait. You know, this is 6, you know, it all depends on which ones you're using, but I mean, you're talking 6 to 8 inches. It's a bigger, bulkier bait. But the thing is, you very rarely use them quickly. You know, you're gonna be presenting this in a manner where the bait is just kind of floating through the water at a slow pace. And you know, the two main ways I like to use this is on a Carolina rig where you've got a decent leader, your weight's up front, and the bait is just coming behind it, and it's just floating. And these baits do such a great job of just suspending through the water and just kind of hovering off the bottom when there's no weight attached. And a Carolina rig is a great way to do that. The other way that I really like to present the bait is as a pitching bait, Texas rigged and weedless, but I always use a lightweight, so like a 3/16 or 1/4 ounce weight, which is really light for a big bulky plastic bait, and I leave it unpegged. I want my weight to be down here and my bait to be up here, and if that's the case, you know, my bait, just like a Carolina rig, that creature bait is going to be suspended off the bottom, and when that's the case, it's just going to be that much of, you know, it's going to be an extremely easy meal for that fish to get without expelling much energy. So when you're talking about summer months, a lot of times, in my opinion, you want to fish really slow, because the fish, even though it's warm water, they can be lethargic because it's so warm, they don't want to expel a ton of energy. They're trying to conserve their energy by staying in good ambush spots, waiting for meals to come to them. So when they see a larger, slow-moving bait, like a creature bait, like this Berkley Power Hog, that presents an easy opportunity for those fish. So for me, the perfect time to throw a big creature bait is really starting up right about now. It's the summer months. I love to fish it on, around laydowns. I love to fish it through weed, through milfoil. It's really a very weedless bait. The same sort of places you'd throw a plastic worm or any other Texas rig, you can throw this. I do want to point out that if you're flipping trees with it, you definitely want to work the bait away from the tree as well. A lot of times the fish will be suspended around those trees or follow the bait out a little bit. So don't necessarily, like with a jig, you flip in, fish the base of a tree or flip the prime parts of a laydown. With a creature bait, I like to throw it as I would a jig, fish it through that laydown, and then I'll just drag that bait out towards the boat a ways. And I find that I get a lot of bites to be like halfway back to the boat, so 10-15 feet off of the wood cover itself. So just keep that in mind, guys. Same thing, if you're fishing like a big weed flat, what I like to key on in the summer is anywhere you've got some rock mixed in with the weed, whether it's a rock to weed transition where you've got a solid rock line where weed starts up, or if you've just got some rock mixed in with the weed. If you've got good milfoil or good hydrilla and you've got little patches of rock mixed in or good openings, and it's sparse enough where I can work a creature bait on a Texas rig through that stuff, I definitely will do it. I just personally find that, during the summer months, the creature bait shines. And I can't tell you anything other than, in my opinion, it matches bluegill and perch and larger forage fish that the bass are going to be keen on in the summer, but it's such a slow presentation that it becomes an easy meal. It's definitely a bait you can use year round as well, but for me, I pick it up right about now. Up here in the North Country now, we've had like 4 days in a row of near 90-degree temperature. So, down south right now, I mean, you guys are full bore summer months, and it's definitely a bait to use all the way up until, when the water starts cooling off into the fall. It's also a great bait around brush piles. Again, it's a really weedless bait. If you leave the bait, the weight unpegged, you bring that bait through the brush pile and the weight will pull the bait through, but the bait will remain separated from the weight, and therefore it'll hover in and around the brush pile. And you get a lot of really good bites on brush piles as well. So it's a bait for me that has worked from Florida all the way up to New York and everything in between. So just make sure, guys, this is the time you pick up some Power Hogs or whatever your favorite creature bait is and get out to the lake, fish them slow, fish them around targets, and just make sure that, if you're fishing at Texas rigged, I'm telling you guys, leave it unpegged. It makes a huge difference with these baits. So thanks for watching. I hope this was helpful. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button, leave a comment, let people know what your favorite creature baits are or other ways you like to fish creature baits so that each and every one of us can learn from everyone's experience on the channel. Thanks again for watching, guys. New videos coming out every day.